Hello, good morning students. Today's topic is on Kaplan Meier method for survival analysis. I am Dr. Sandheep Sugadan, Associate Professor in Community Medicine, Quest International University Perak, Malaysia. The Kaplan Meier method, it is also known as product limit method. It is a non-parametric method for survival analysis used to estimate the probability of survival past given time points. That means it calculates a survival distribution. Let us go through this example. In a study on the effect of drug dose on cancer survival in rats, you could use the Kaplan Meier method to understand the survival distribution for rats receiving one of the 4 different drug doses. Survival distribution is calculated based on time until death. 4 different drug doses are given: 40 mg per square meter per day, or 80 mg per square meter per day, 120 mg per square meter per day, and 160 mg per square meter per day. Rats are classified into 4 groups, and each group was getting one of this dosage. Survival time variable would be time to death, and a between subjects factor would be the drug dose. And then compare the survival distribution or experiences between the 4 doses or 4 groups receiving 4 different doses to determine if they are equal. We can identify which group of rats were showing better survival. Example 2. We can use the Kaplan Meier method to determine whether the distribution of time to failure of a knee replacement therapy differs based on effect of exercise amongst young patients. So survival time would be time to knee replacement failure, from the time of treatment to knee replacement failure. And the between subjects factor would be exercise impact, which has 3 different groups: sedentary impact, low impact exercise, high impact exercise. So these are the 2 different examples for Kaplan Meier analysis. Now we can go through the data, which is today we are using that data. Today's exercise use SPSS data. The brief description of the data is as follows. A researcher wanted to determine the relative effectiveness of 3 types of intervention designed to help long-term smokers quit smoking. So inclusion criteria was long-term smokers, and 3 interventions were given. One is a hypnotherapy program, second is wearing nicotine patches, third is the use of e-cigarettes. And the event is the restarting of smoking. The researchers wanted to determine if and when smokers who had quit smoking after undertaking one of these 3 interventions started smoking again. Participants were observed for 2 years, that is for a period of 104 weeks, after the interventions had taken place. They were followed up for a period of 2 years or 104 weeks from the intervention. A successful result would be where smokers did not start smoking again. The longer the length of time it took before participants started smoking again, the more effective the intervention. If intervention is better, it takes longer time to restart smoking. So we need to set up data as follows. ID is the case identifier. That's the number given to each participant. Time is the survival time. Time from intervention to event. Event in this case is starting of smoking again. Then intervention is the type of intervention, can be any of these three: hypnotherapy program, nicotine patch, or e-cigarette. Status can be either event or censored. Event is given as 1. Event is the restarting of smoking. Censored means didn't restart smoking till the end of the study. That is, till the end of 104 weeks, participants didn't restart smoking. That is considered as censored. If data lost to follow up, in between data is missing, data is not available, that also will be considered as censored. And in between the study, participant disagreed to continue, discontinued from the study, that also considered as censored. Or data lost to follow up is also considered censored. Till the end of the study, no event taken place. Event is restarting of smoking. They didn't restart smoking. That also considered as censored. Status and intervention are nominal measurement. Status, either censored or event. Intervention, in this case, can be hypnotherapy, nicotine patch, or e-cigarette. These are nominal measurements. ID and survival time are scale measurements. Check if proportion of censored data in the 3 intervention group are similar. That is one assumption for doing Kaplan Meier analysis. For doing Kaplan Meier, this assumption should be satisfied. What is that assumption? Proportion of censored data in 3 intervention group should be similar. That means there is no significant difference between proportion of censored in those who followed any of these programs, like hypnotherapy program, nicotine patch, or e-cigarette. We need to do chi-square test. Okay, these are the steps: analyze, descriptive statistics, and click cross tabs. Then we need to select dependent variable and independent variable. Dependent variable we need to select as column, and independent variable we need to select as rows. In this case, independent variable is the type of intervention. So independent variable is selected as rows. So type of intervention as rows. Dependent variable here is the event status, either censored or event yes. So that is considered as column because it's a dependent variable. Type of intervention as rows and event status as column. Then statistics. After clicking statistics, please select chi-squared and click continue. Then after that, you need to click cells. After clicking cells, you need to select row percentages. That means here row is intervention categories. So row percentages means each intervention category, how much percentage got censored, how much percentage got event. Select row percentages. Then click continue. If number of observation in any of the cell in the table is less than 5, then click on exact. Exact means computer will calculate exact significance value. Usually statistical software calculate asymptotic significance value, but when you click exact, it calculate exact significance value. Select exact, keep time limit per test 5 minutes. Then click continue. If number of observation in any of the cell in the table is less than 5, click on exact. Then click continue, then click OK. These are the results. Okay, for hypnotherapy program, percentage of censored is 12%. For nicotine patch program, percentage of censored is 14%, and e-cigarette program, percentage of censored is 14%. The finding is like that. Proportion of censored in different intervention groups are almost same. Then also we have to check for statistical significance. So we need to look at chi-square test table. Pearson chi-square table, asymptotic significance value shows that it is 0.944 asymptotic significant value. Because it is more than 0.05, Pearson chi-square is not statistically significant. What it shows, there is no significant difference in proportion of censored in different intervention groups. Okay. Since the table shows all cells are more than 5, all cells are showing observations more than 5, so no need to go for exact significant test, exact significant value. We have to look for asymptotic significance value only. Now we can do Kaplan Meier analysis. The aim of using Kaplan Meier analysis are first to determine whether there were statistically significant difference between survival distribution of the 3 intervention. So we will be calculating survival distribution, observing survival distribution of 3 intervention, namely hypnotherapy program, nicotine patch program, and e-cigarettes. Okay, then we are checking if the survival distribution is significantly different or not. If there were significantly differences, if there were statistically significant differences between survival distribution, then we need to determine which specific intervention differed from the other for each. Then we can know whether there was a difference in survival distribution of participants who underwent hypnotherapy program compared to those who are using nicotine patches, or whether there was a significant difference between those using nicotine patches versus the e-cigarettes, or whether there was a significant difference between those who underwent the hypnotherapy program versus those who use e-cigarettes. Okay, that's a use of this analysis, Kaplan Meier analysis. Okay, these are the steps: analyze, survival, Kaplan Meier. We are doing survival analysis. Okay, then we need to select survival time as time. Status. What is the status here? That will be showing event status, event 1 or event 0. Event 1 means event is yes. Event 0 means censored. Okay, status, you have to select event status. Then intervention, type of intervention will be selected as factor. Then case identifier will be the label cases by case identifier. So time will be survival time, status will be event status, factor will be intervention groups, then label cases by case identifier. When you select all, there is a question mark there near this status. Okay, we can select only one status. Can be one. One is the event. So you have to select status and click on define event. When you click status with question mark, then define event will be active. Then you have to click define event. Okay. Now define event status. In our example, event is equal to 1. So status is defined as 1. So when you click define event, when you click status with question mark, define event will be active. Then you click on define event. Then one box Kaplan Meier define event for status variable will be open. Then please click on single value and click on 1. Single value type as 1. So computer identifies status as 1. That is event status is 1. And 0 is actually censored. So it will be selecting only event status 1. Then click continue. Okay, we selected all. Then we need to select the compare factor. When you click compare factor, test statistics appear. One box appears showing, asking for test statistics. Test statistics can be either log rank, Breslow or Taron-Ware. These are the three test statistics. Log rank, Breslow or Taron-Ware. You have to click on all the three, log rank, Breslow and Taron-Ware test statistics. Then click on pooled over strata. Okay, when you click log rank, Breslow and Taron-Ware, the below that box will get activated. Then you please select pooled over strata. Okay, then click continue. So we selected compare factor. Then one more is there. You have to select options. What all options you will select? Okay. By default, survival tables and mean and median survival is already selected. Okay. These statistics are already selected. Survival table and mean and median survival. But you need to click one more, that is survival plots. Then computer will draw survival plots for us. So please click on survival plots also, then click continue. Okay, then results appear. Then click OK, then results appear. So these are the survival functions for hypnotherapy, nicotine patch and e-cigarette. It is shown. Survival time on x-axis and cumulative survival on the y-axis. Okay, look whether the survival curves cross each other. If survival curves cross each other, what is the meaning? there is interaction between survival distributions. Okay. Note whether the survival curves are similarly shaped. Even if they are above or below one another, we need to check if survival curves are of similar shape. Here 3 survival curves are there. That blue color survival curve is for hypnotherapy, green color for nicotine patch, and light green or a yellowish green is for e-cigarette. In this data set, it would appear that while the nicotine patch and e-cigarette group are similarly shaped, the hypnotherapy survival curve is not similar to nicotine patch and e-cigarette curves. Nicotine patch and e-cigarette curves are similar, but hypnotherapy is not similar. Understood? Cumulative survival is slightly higher for hypnotherapy. Nicotine patch and e-cigarette cumulative survival is lower. Okay, now we can look at the results of log-rank, Breslow and Taryn Meier. These are the test statistics of Kaplan Meier analysis. Log-rank, Breslow and Taryn Meier, all these show chi-square values and a degree of freedom and a significance value. All 3 tests compare a weighted difference between observed number of events and the expected number of events. Okay, there is a weighted difference between observed number of events. That is, how many is the restarting of smoking. That is the observed number of events. Expected number of events, how many is the expected number of restarting of smoking at every time period for every intervention. So, log-rank test shows significant difference, Breslow shows significant difference, and a Taryn Meier test also shows significant difference. That means there is a significant difference in survival distribution of 3 different interventions. Okay. If they all return the same result, like here log-rank also shows statistically significant difference, Breslow shows statistically significant, and Taryn Meier also shows statistically significant difference. Then we need to report only the result of log-rank test. However, if in some case these 3 tests return different result, one is significant, another is not significant, the third one may be significant. If different results, then report the results of all the tests, which they argue gives the reader a better feel for the differences in the survival distribution. Okay, now we can say how the result can be expressed in the publication or in the report. Okay, null hypothesis. What is the null hypothesis in this research? Null hypothesis is that there is no difference in the overall survival distributions between the groups. That is, between the intervention groups in the population. That is a null hypothesis. There is no difference in overall survival distributions between the 3 intervention groups in the population. A log-rank test was run to determine if there were differences in the survival distribution for the different type of intervention. And the survival distribution for the 3 different type of interventions were statistically significantly different. Understood? So, the survival distribution for the 3 interventions were significantly different. And the chi-square value is 25.818 and the p-value is less than 0.0005. Okay, understood? So why we are presenting only log-rank test? Because log-rank, Breslow and Pairwise, all the three show significance. So need to present only log-rank result. If three show different result, then we need to present all the three results separately. Okay. Now we can go through mean and medians for survival time for each program. Okay. So mean and median survival time, that is time till event occur. Event is restarting of smoking. For all the intervention groups are as follows. Okay. Participants who underwent hypnotherapy program had a median time to smoking resumption of 69 weeks. Okay, because total number of study period is 104 weeks. So, participants who underwent hypnotherapy program had a median time to smoking resumption of 69 weeks. Had 95% confidence interval varied from 45.163 to 92.837 weeks. Okay. The same, you can present the mean survival period also, mean time to smoking resumption or mean time to event. For hypnotherapy program was 57.955 weeks. And a 95% confidence interval of mean was from 47.167 to 68.742 weeks. So this was longer than groups receiving nicotine patches or e-cigarette. Okay, nicotine patches. What was the mean time to smoking resumption or starting of smoking, restarting of smoking? For nicotine patch, mean time was 26.237 weeks and 95% confidence interval of mean was from 17.092 to 35.383. The median time to restarting of smoking for nicotine patch was 9 weeks and a 95% confidence interval was from 6.563 to 11.437. Similarly, for e-cigarettes also, mean time to smoking resumption or a restarting of smoking was 17.601 weeks and a 95% confidence interval from 10.931 to 24.271. Okay, for e-cigarette, what was the median time to smoking resumption? 9 weeks. Estimate is 9 weeks for median, right? And a 95% confidence interval varies from 7.097 to 10.903. So this is a description of mean and median time to smoking resumption or mean and median for survival time. How to do pairwise comparison? So we can do pairwise comparison also. Similar test. Okay. This is a repetition of the same steps. Analyze, survival and click on Kaplan Meier. Then select survival time as time, status, event or censored as status, type of intervention as factor, label cases by case identifier ID. Okay. Then status is showing a question mark, right? Please click on status and click on define event. So here event is 1 and the censored is 0. So please click define event and click on single value as 1 because here event is 1. Define event status as 1. Then click continue. How to do pairwise comparison? Okay. Then click on compare factor. When we are doing pairwise comparison, no need to click on log rank, Breslow, Kaplan Meier, all three. Please click on log rank alone. Then click on log rank test alone. Then the below box will become active, right? When you click on log rank. Then, do you remember earlier we clicked on pooled over strata. Here, please click on pairwise over strata. Because we want to know pairwise comparison between hypnotherapy program with nicotine patch, hypnotherapy program with e-cigarette, nicotine patch with e-cigarette. Like that. We can do pairwise comparison. Then click continue, then click OK. Okay, pairwise comparison. Before we declare whether this difference is statistically significant, we need to adjust the current level at which we declare statistical significance. Earlier, our current level of statistical significance is p-value less than 0.05, right? To compensate for making multiple comparison. Here we are comparing between three different subgroups. Hypnotherapy program with nicotine patch, hypnotherapy program with e-cigarette, nicotine patch with e-cigarette. Okay, like that. Three different comparison, multiple. Okay, what we can do in this case? We can do this using Bonferroni correction, which adjusts the level by the number of comparisons we are making. All of us know our level of statistical significance was p-value less than 0.05, right? Now we are comparing three subgroups. So we have to divide 0.05 divided by 3. Then we will get a statistical significant level. That will be 0.05 divided by 3, that is 0.0167. That is the statistical significance level. So when we check for difference between hypnotherapy with nicotine patch, we need to check if significance value is less than 0.0167. We will not look for less than 0.05. We have to look for less than 0.0167. That means it is 0.05 divided by 3. 3 comparisons we are doing. Hypnotherapy program with e-cigarette. There also we have to check if significance value is less than 0.0167. Okay, nicotine patch with the hypnotherapy, that also we need to check if significance value is less than 0.0167. Okay, nicotine patch with the e-cigarette. Okay, here it is significant value 0.214. It is more than 0.0167. So it is not statistically significant. So here, hypnotherapy program with the nicotine patch, it is statistically significant. Hypnotherapy program with the e-cigarette is statistically significant. Nicotine patch with the hypnotherapy program, it's statistically significant. Nicotine patch with the e-cigarette, it is not statistically significant. E-cigarette with the hypnotherapy program, it's statistically significant. E-cigarette with a nicotine patch, it is not statistically significant. So you understood? It's very interesting. Okay, don't look for 0.05 as the significant level. You need to use Born-Perroni correction 0.05 divided by 3 because you are comparing 3 comparisons. Okay, log rank test. Pairwise comparison were run to determine which intervention groups had different survival distribution, and a Born-Perroni correction was made with the statistical significance accepted at the p-value less than 0.0167 level. Okay, this is the way you need to present in publication. There was a statistically significant difference in survival distributions for the hypnotherapy versus nicotine patch intervention. That is, chi-square is 11.035. Okay, and the p-value is 0.001. There was a statistically significant difference in survival distribution for the hypnotherapy versus e-cigarette intervention. Chi-square is 29.003 and the p-value is less than 0.001. There was statistically non-significant difference in survival distribution for e-cigarette versus nicotine patch intervention. Chi-square value was 1.541 and the significance value, that is p-value, was 0.214. So it is not statistically significant.